All right, for the elevated pigeon mobilization, we're either going to use an incline bench or, if you have one available, a taller box. And if you have the flexibility, you can use a taller box. But the better option by far is definitely the incline bench. You're going to set your bench at about a 45-degree angle. And all you're going to do for setup is place one of your legs on top so that your knee is at the top of the bench and your shin bone is pretty much just laying on the incline part of the bench. Now, what we want to do with our back leg, we want to try and keep our toes pointed at least straight ahead. As you get better with this, or if you want to keep it more strict, you can actually point your toe in just a little bit. So my toe is pointed really towards this front knee. And then from here, I kind of have two options. I can keep this back leg stiff and just fold forward like I'm trying to bring my solar plexus, which is right where my rib cage ends, trying to bring that as far forward over this leg as I can, feeling a really big stretch on the outside of this front hip. The other option I have is I can bend this back leg and try to bring my knee a little bit closer to my chest. Depending on where you're tightest in this area, you may have to work on a blend between those two. So you may fold forward and then just bend that back knee a little bit. But I encourage you to try and push your hips. If you imagine you're in a box right here, I'm trying to push my hips to this back corner of the box. So I'll push my butt back as I reach my chest forward as far as I can. And I'm feeling a really big stretch on the outside of the hip, which is the target area for this mobilization. Once I spend a certain amount of time or the prescribed amount of time on the one side, I'll walk over to the other side, and that's how we switch with this mobilization. Like I said, if you have a taller box, you can possibly use one of these as well. The biggest difference is that the box is a lot higher, right? So when I go to set up, this box is also flat. So the big difference, at least for most of us, is you're gonna have to bend your knee a lot more so that you can lay your leg comfortably on this taller box. From here, it's pretty much the same. I want my back foot or my planted foot pointed straight ahead, if not a little bit towards the inside. And then I'm just folding forward or bending that back leg or a combination of the both. The biggest difference with this platform version of the elevated pigeon stretch is this is a lot more intense than the incline bench. A small note about the incline bench, the taller the incline it's on, the easier it gets. So doing this mobilization on a flat surface the way you have to with this box variation does make it a little bit tighter.